Hi, okay, it's Kurt. I've tried to make this video a couple times and I keep doing it wrong, so the universe pauses my video and makes me redo it, which is kind of rude, universe. Like, thank you, but stop. I'm gonna get it right this time. So, I was making a rant video prior, like yesterday, and I wanted to post it about, like, the terror of being trans in today's society, and then I was like, enough people say this already. I'm going to try to be positive. So this is Kurt's list of 10 things, and I wrote them down. 10 things that are good about being a trans male in particular. Some of these things apply to trans females, but really it's about being a trans male in particular. If you're squeamish about sexual topics, please read Michael Foucault's A History of Sexuality, and then come back to this video when you're ready and grown. Okay? It's not gonna be super sexual. It's not gonna be like me. I don't know. I'll probably talk about fucking myself with my dick. So that's about the most. That's how far we've gotten so far. I've made this video a couple times. So it's just like a forewarning, putting it out there. Um, Number one, there's a song called Detachable Penis by King Missile. And it's not very well known because King Missile's like an artist and doesn't have lots of followers presently, but he is dope. Um, he's really like Detachable Penis is a really old song. He kind of gave up on making art, I think. But I used to follow him on Twitter when I had a Twitter before I got kicked off because J.K. Rowling didn't like me tweeting at her. J.K. Rowling kicked me off of Twitter. I was just trying to explain to her how my dick functions because she seems to think that we don't exist. And I just like, I don't know how else to describe trans people without talking about genitalia, but you can't talk about genitalia because it's taboo. Oh my god, this is tangent. I'm no longer on Twitter, which is probably for the best because I get a little bit wild on Twitter. I didn't have many followers, and so when I know not lots of people are looking at my Twitter, I'm just like, well, nothing to lose here. I'm gonna speak my truth, but my truth is a little bit absurd. Anyway, I used to follow King Mess on Twitter, and he was like a seriously depressed artist, but I love him. And he has this song called Detachable Penis, which is playing out the idea of having a detachable penis so it doesn't get you in trouble. And he has this wild night out and loses his penis and he has to go buy it from a street vendor in New York City. And I can just see that happening to me. Not that I necessarily go out to social events currently, but maybe once I figure out how to do that again, I could probably lose my dick and have to go buy it from someone on the street. Um, but there's lots of pluses to having a detachable penis. It's resizable. It's not like having a prosthetic dick is very. I just think it's hot because like someone can be fucking themselves with your dick, and then you can come in, and it's just I don't know. You can fuck yourself with your dick. That's what I mostly do right now. I'm like I said, like a loser, but it's fine. I'm. I figured out I was trans March 20th. I mean March of 2020, and then we got stuck in quarantine. I figured out I was trans actually tripping on a beach in Cancun with my sorority sisters, and then I refused to accept that because my therapist had a trans son at the time, and she said her trans son only talked to trans people, and I was like, well, all my friends are cis, so I didn't come out as trans. And then it turns out I can really only talk to trans people because no one else understands my situation. So now we're here in quarantine, and quarantine's made my social anxiety a lot worse. I don't know why I'm telling people this, but if you want to know why I'm the way I am, probably because of that. Uh, anyway, it was actually February of 2020 where I officially switched my pronouns. Um, it wasn't until August of 2020 that I gave up my dead name because I happen to love my dead name. This is diverging into Kurt's coming out story. Then I started hormones October of 2020. Um, anyway, number 2. We're doing terrible on time, and I have gotten way off topic and way too deep, and it's fine. Just the tip. Uh, 2. Trans people are different and special. Like, there aren't a lot of us, but there are going to be a lot of us, and we're like paving the waves. Paving the waves. We could also say paving the way, but I think everyone's kind of a wave and a particle. Waving in harmony in one big wave. Whatever, I don't really know about that. That's just a good illustration, I think, of the universe. 3. Trans men in particular were raised with femininity, and I think femininity is better than masculinity. 4. Trans people can create their own culture. Right now, we don't have a culture, um, really, and it's coming out of the woodwork, but it's kind of like the thing where, I don't, like, I know cis culture because I'm inundated with it. Um, Cis people don't know trans culture, and trans people have, like, straws to grasp. There's really not anything there. So, I'm very thankful for my ancestors, um, the people who came before me, which allowed me to get my meds and all of these things, but it's very much like seen as normal in the trans community to take your meds and then hide. Well, I've been hiding my entire life. I think lots of trans people want to be seen and want to have culture that they can point to and be like, that's me. Um, and I understand why things were the way they are in the past. It's very hard to tell people I'm trans, or it was hard to tell people I was trans before I got on my drugs and before I changed my name. And now, like, people know I'm trans. You can't really hide from it, and I'm happy with that. I don't ever want to pass, really. I'll probably, like, I still have my titties. We'll see when they get cut off. I'm gonna go nippleless. I think that might be. That's number 7, so we'll just move it to be talked about now. Um, I don't want nipples. And when I get my titties cut off, I'm not gonna get nipples put back on. I'm gonna get little tiny tattoo hearts. And that's like the coolest thing. Because little tiny tattoo hearts are cooler than nipples, in my opinion. But you can have what you want. I just was in a trans group one time, and people said something about like I can get keyhole surgery because I got tiny titties, but and with keyhole surgery you can keep your nips. But I have really big nips, so I know that they would have to graft them down. And I don't know how true this is. Maybe someone can let me know. But I like in a trans group, someone was like, if you're addicted to nicotine, you can have experience nipple death with nipple grafts. And I like chew Nicorette. So I don't want to experience nipple death. I looked that up and it's not. And I'm pretty addicted to nicotine. And this hasn't made me stop. This got me more addicted to nicotine. But I don't think nicotine's a bad thing except for nipple death, whatever the fuck that means. Okay. Um, Number 5, since we already skipped to 7, we just won't go over that one. Small recovery time / no erectile dysfunction. I feel like that one's obvious. Okay. 6, big dick energy. In fact, trans males' dicks are totally in energy. So we have lots of big dick energy because my entire dick is just energy. See how that works? Like, my energy dick is big. You know how much balls it takes to say you're a trans man? You know how much balls it takes to take drugs and start second cis supremacist second puberty, like when you're 20 years old? You know the amount of balls it takes to do these things? You all have no fucking clue. You're just being masculine because you don't want to be something different. But I already am different. I'm a fucking weirdo, but I'm fine with it. I got the biggest big dick energy out of everyone out there. Bigger big dick energy than Logan Paul. Oh my god, I'm so excited to watch him get beat up by Floyd Mayweather. I really hope it happens. We'll see tonight, guys. We'll see tonight. I've had those tickets since, like, as soon as it was announced. I only paid $20. I got the early bird special. I'm really excited about that. Anyway, if someone wants to beat me up, go ahead. I have a black belt in karate. I have like no muscles, but like I try harder than anyone else, and I'm unafraid of death. So like, come at me. My big dick energy is off the charts. I'm afraid of nothing. I have massive anxiety. I'm such a fuck. You know, I'm really not afraid of anything, yet I have massive anxiety. I'm really a paradox. But the universe is too, so I don't really know what to say to that. Like, I'm enlightened, but not enlightened. I'm enlightened, but cannot meditate because my anxiety is so bad because I'm in this situation of being trans and, like, also like I refuse to be treated like a second class citizen, so it's just a real interesting state of being right now. Anyway, off past 7, we're moving to 8. Trans people are a medical mystery. Because we definitely exist. There's a medical reason for why we exist. They just haven't found it yet. And I don't think it would take like much to find. Um, like, because we know phantom limbs exist, and we know that a clit and a dick start the same in the womb, but no one's ever tried, so I'm a mystery, which is so fucking cool to say. Okay, we're at 9. I am a seahorse. Kurt Cobain wanted to be a seahorse more than anything else in the world, and I am a seahorse. You know how cool that is? Like, Nirvana seahorses. I'm a seahorse. I did it, motherfuckers. Um, oh, 10. Everyone that's trans right now, you can be a trans messiah. Because trans people aren't free. How do you become a trans messiah? You just speak your truth. And you demand more than what they give you. You have to be kind of unafraid of being crucified. Uh, I don't have a martyr complex, but I would make a good martyr. Hate begets hate, and suffering begets suffering. I like don't take myself seriously, so you shouldn't either. But if you're looking for reasons to love yourself and you're trans, maybe you can take one of the 10 things I've just said. And I mean, I'm choosing to be nippleless. You don't have to be nippleless. But maybe if you're addicted to nicotine, it might be a choice. Also, some of these things don't apply to trans kids, and I think trans kids should get puberty at the right time so they necessarily wouldn't be nippleless, and they wouldn't probably be raised with femininity, although I think masculinity is kind of changing, and I think how you would raise a trans man is kind of different than how you would raise a cis man. Thank God. Um, but they can definitely do everything else. And I wish I was a trans. I wish I had the balls to say I was trans as a kid. I think that trans kids have the biggest uh, the most courage out of anyone in the world. They probably won't see that. I mean, if a trans kid sees this, I'm sorry that I've talked about sex things, but people probably should talk about them with you. So, um, but trans kids are dope and amazing. And it's the only reason I'm here for the trans kids, really. Great culture for them.